Hey, I'm Maria back with another video. It's like 5 something in the morning. I went to bed pretty early last night. I think around 7-ish or something. I'm doing this for my own health, okay? I'm trying to really get my energy levels back. And I feel pretty relaxed today. I'm glad that I'm taking Monday. I mean, I'm not taking Monday off. It's been given to me off, and I'm very grateful for that. So today my son is renting a rental truck, and we're going to go out to the dump to dump some things out in the junkyard, and I'm glad because I've been accumulating a lot of crap in boxes that I haven't unpacked. Some of it I might need, so I want to sort through it, but I'm probably going to leave that in the box. So when I do leave, I could just grab it, but I'm going to thin out a lot of my stuff. I mean, there's some of the stuff I just don't need. And I'd like to travel lightly, across town or whatever, but still, I just always think that less is more. I don't like a bunch of shit, really, I don't. So, I woke up this morning and I was reflecting back on some memories that I had with, Steve Murray, and he was always telling me that I guess he was never a good boss, like he was never a good manager. And I can see exactly what he meant by that. He's a horrible manager. One thing I liked about Karen Johnson is I thought she was efficient. I mean, as far as implementing things, or if she stood corrected on something, she would implement it immediately. That was something I admired about her. I didn't like her behavior, how she treated other people. She lacked empathy, and people feared her. Not fear like a respectful fear. They feared her because she abused people. And as well as Steve Murray, he's another person who abuses people, and obviously he does. He completely ignores rights, and he doesn't adhere to the law. And I'm feeling very free and open about saying this, and because it's another part of my cleansing. I mean, this has been, extremely traumatizing for me. So, but, like last night I was thinking, gosh, I need conversation, and in YouTube it used to be, I don't know, I've never really noticed a lot of videos that I could really take, participate in. Like, back when I first started doing videos on YouTube, there was a lot of open dialogue. And of course I was discussing a completely different subject matter, but, where I could, somebody would express an opinion or discussion, and I could participate in it, and there could be these open discussions, with people talking about different things. Maybe, I would say that I don't really I've changed a lot in the last few years because mostly my focus has been on fighting this battle of gang stalking, and I don't want to give, or I think most of the people's stories or experiences of targeted individual has already been explained, and really to discuss anything else other than being a targeted individual and having an open dialogue about it in a I guess a public platform is not such a great idea. So it's I really kind of feel shut off, from the rest of the world. And there's been there's some people I watch regularly on videos, about certain issues, but there are issues that I refrain to ever discuss because I either agree on certain points, but I don't believe in certain movements completely. Like I can agree with a lot of different people's viewpoints on certain things. Like, for example, I mentioned that I'm sympathetic to my people's struggles, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that I believe that they're going to support me, or that, because they don't, okay? Or at least they act like they don't. Whatever the case is, I don't believe in expecting support from a group of people. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that. I think a lot of it's just a bunch of talk, but I do watch videos that, talk about other people's experiences with discrimination and stuff like that. So I'm at a point right now where I'm just like, okay, so some of it would just, it would just be nice to just I miss conversation, but I don't really know where to direct my energy and my attention to. So it's kind of like, oh man, it's kind of a sad feeling. But so, yeah, I was thinking about that, and about him saying that. All of this is coming back to me, and yeah, I mean, he's a horrible manager, horrible when it comes to running a business, horrible at, he ignored everything that I was telling him, and it had to do with me. I mean, that man is a monster. And he's another one he's got a lot of blood on his hands. Him and his wife. I know his wife was being a complete bitch when I left. And, she was like, she basically told me, well, Steve's going to write you a letter of recommendation, but I'm not going to help you. And I'm like, why would she take that attitude with me? Because Vicki Murray's a racist, period. And she basically probably had, she was filled with bloodlust is basically the only thing I could think of. Because I've never done anything to that woman ever. So she had some issue with me. I don't understand it completely, what exactly went on Facebook. And but I know that it was all bullshit, and I will say that it's eye-opening, that something like that could even happen. And and I'm pretty sure, like, the smear campaign is what fuels it. It's like all the rumors. That's one of the reasons why they talk about how, when you're a targeted individual, there's a lot of rumors that go on, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it seem as though you're not even credible, or you're not even worth someone who's listening to. Or it could be that people just naturally gossip, and it just, spirals into that. I don't know, but I will say that they're all rumors. I mean, every single last bit of it's a rumor. But, the thing is, like, for example, if I was a guy, they may use a rumor and say, oh, well, they do this with a lot of men, too. They'll call them child molesters, okay? The reason why is because that is something that's looked down upon by society, and it's very difficult for people to disprove, or it just immediately makes people turn against you. So in my case, they must have used the fact that Tiggy and his mom were incestuous and used that against me. I'm trying to think about what could they have used against me that would make me, like, that would just be so unforgivable. Because I'm going to tell you, these people seem like they were hardwired, besides the religious issue. Now, obviously, Esther and Polly are incestuous, so that I'm not sure exactly where that's coming from. I don't understand that angle, because they're the ones who are sick. So I don't understand that angle, but especially from a religious standpoint. So that's hypocritical already. So I don't fully understand why was I, like, what made me, like, the unforgivable, just scum of the earth, So they must have used religious angle, even though that doesn't make any sense from that point of view. I don't understand that part. I don't. I can't figure out where it all connects completely. I can't. Like, and then I don't understand where. And there's a lot of things that I know that there's certain elements, but how it all comes together and how it makes any sense. I know none of it makes any sense. I think a lot of it is just like, herd mentality gone seriously awry, and it doesn't even have to make sense. It's just these people are blindly following something without giving it any thought, which just goes to show you the dangers of collective thought, and how it can be very, very dangerous. I'm trying to think. And then I start thinking about all these other people involved. Like, I know it had something to do with Steve Lyles, right? I know it did, about me talking to him or writing him a letter back in 2008. Never heard anything from him. And then they blow it up like something great happened. Like, nothing happened, I don't even. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying to see where all this fits together. And it's all, and none of it makes any sense to me. None of it does. Now Esther must have been in cahoots with my sister. And was Esther trying to make me and bring me into her cult, her incestuous death cult? And are people pissed off at me because I don't want to be a part of it? Is that what makes it so? that I'm worthy of all this hatred, because I don't get it. I don't get any of it. With the smear campaign is why it's so unforgivable. Now there's a lot of racism involved in this. I know that. Vicky Murray comes off as a racist to me because her because it seems illogical. You know what I mean? I've never done anything to Vicky, but I know that she had an attitude with me from day one. From day one. And I never quite understood. I always tried to be nice to her. When she would come into the office, I always tried to be accommodating to her. But I never fully understood what her issue was. So, I mean, I'm just thinking, was that it? Or was it that she was in cahoots with Karen Johnson, and Karen Johnson was also a racist, and Karen Johnson was pissed off that I left her place of employ because I didn't want to put up with her abuse anymore. And then you go with this rage. I'm wondering, should I even be pondering on this right now, or should I just move on from it? Because I'm going to tell you what, that whole thing, the whole issue is so bizarre, and you can't help but be terrified of these people's irrational behavior, because you're dealing with people who aren't thinking clearly. All very strange, very, very strange. But anyway, I'm going to, I'm trying really not to spend a lot of time with Piggy. I don't really feel as though there's really anything to say to him anymore. I just feel like, and I don't know exactly how deep he is involved in my targeting. Is he just someone who's just kind of kicking back? Did somebody grant him, or did his family just assume that he had some rights over me or something? Whatever the case is, I have to regard him as an abuser, and that's how I look at him. So I really don't want to spend a lot of time talking to him other than, hi, bye, do we need something from the store? It has to be pretty much reduced to that level, because I don't really see any, obviously we pay rent and stuff like that together, but other than that, I really don't want to have any other interaction with him. So it is what it is. I'm trying to get rid of, I'm purging everyone who shows any signs of abuse, which makes sense, okay? So I'm posting a video, and it was called, Longing for Conversation. It's on my phone right now, and it's uploading. It takes forever, but yeah, I long for conversation, but at the same time, it's like, I know I have to be very leery of perps, and they're out there. They're out there. The people on the streets are going to be perps. People I encounter are going to be perps. Everybody I know is going to be a perp. But yet I need conversation. So what do? I got to be careful. I don't want any more abuse at all in any way, shape, or form. I don't want people making decisions for me. The reason why I'm in this situation is because of abuse. Okay. And so, abuse from family, my blood relations, my ex-family, blood relations, abuse from employers, abuse from perfect strangers, abuse from, Piggy's family, and abuse from the Collins family, which really throws me for a loop, because, like, what the hell are you doing, especially since you paid, no attention to my son through the years. Not that I wanted or asked you to, but it's just like, come on, you got so much nerve, it's not even funny. So I have to be very careful about people. I do, and I have to be very careful, and I have to protect myself, But yeah, people need human interaction at the same time. So I'm looking for, conversations that I can participate in on YouTube that are not going to be, against my morals or my beliefs. I'm not going to, because I'm not going to, I don't believe in debating issues. I really don't, for the simple fact that everything has to be taken on an individual basis. I'm an individualist, and I see things from an individual basis. But at the same time, I don't like, like, for example, this is one lady who posts videos on YouTube, and she's a black lady, and I watch a lot of her videos. I agree with a lot of what she says. I really do. But I do, and I would say that everything that she says is spot on, okay? But at the same time, I don't necessarily think that it should be that people who do, for example, marry interracially should be shunned or whatever. But I do think that they need to keep their eyes open. You know what I mean? Especially if they're already in that relationship. I don't necessarily. I think, I have my feelings and I don't want to express them. I don't want to express them. But I do believe in what she says. I do. I agree with what she says. I just don't feel like I really want to participate in those conversations. And so those kind of conversations I'm swaying away from. But other things, I make, maybe more like self-help things. I mean, I could participate in because I like a lot. I like giving advice and that stuff. That